Hi guys, so today I'm going to be working with the new Spellbinders APG Die of the Month for April of 2021. So Spellbinders did send these items free of charge for my review, and all opinions are my own. And any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items through those links. So this month's is Dimensional Dahlia Doily, or Dahlia Dimensional Doily. 3Ds in a row, but I can't exactly remember the order of the name there. But really pretty. So what's interesting about this set is that there is these two pieces here that would go inside of this circle here. And when you get yours, mine are samples. They don't have a carrier sheet. But on the back of your carrier sheet, just like anything else you get from Spellbinders, they have some inspiration. They might have some instruction. It will have instruction on how to make this flower, the Dahlia, and then this is a bonus die, as they call it. And I think today I'm going to use the bonus die, but we will see. So you basically use this circle die, which you can use for lots of things. It's a nice circle die. And you're going to cut a few of those, and you're going to cut a few of these. And if you really look up close, you can see that these are slightly different. This one has these little slits here, where this one has them in the back. And you basically interlock these to make your Dahlia. Okay, so it's cut like this, right? And then this other one. This set also has these really cute spiral flowers that have an extra little bit of dimension to them, as they have, I don't know if you can see that line right there. So that inner line is going to make like a score mark for you that you would then make flowers that kind of curl back. And so we will use those today too, I believe. Along with this little sweetie right here makes like a little doily edge that you can then tuck in behind your little flowers that you make, or however you want to do them. So we'll keep an eye on that. Maybe I'll use that today too. This one here is a petal, or however you want to use it. If you want to use it as a leaf, you also have that. But this is the little leaf one here where, sorry, it's just kind of big. I have this laying out here. It has the score marks to make more of a leaf shape. And then you have this really cool panel here. So you can do the insert, you can just do the background, then you have this nice rectangular die with an insert if you want to use it. So we will definitely use that today to go behind our little creation. Let me measure this one just so you have an idea of how big that is. And that'll also help me decide what kind of, what size card I want to make, a card base. I suppose it also depends on how big this ends up being. So I'm not going to cut a card base quite yet. But it is exactly 5.5 inches tall from edge to edge. I'm talking about the cutting edge to cutting edge. And so I'm assuming this way it's going to be 2 1/4-ish. It's 2 1/8. That's what it looks like. So basically something you would put into a standard A2 size card. So what I'm going to do is pull some papers and we'll get started. I think I'm going to take some paper out of this month's card kit, which I've unboxed and done a video on making a sweet card very simply with the die cuts. But I like this very light pink color that's in here. Maybe I'll use some of the gold paper that's in here, because that's always a lovely thing to add to a card. So I'll go through this, and then we have some green for our leaves, and pick out the papers I want to use, and we'll get started. So to get started, I am going to cut the circles here. Like I said, I'm not sure exactly what size I want my card to end up being at the end. I know with this one, with the bonus die, it does make a larger flower, like if you're putting it all together, the larger Dahlia. So I'm gonna wait and see about that. So I'm gonna take this here, and we need 8 of these. And so I'm just take this pretty pink paper here, and I'm gonna cut out 8 of these guys, just like this, because they each need that center piece so that we can actually form our flowers. So I'll take that, tape it down, I'll run through 8 of them, and then again, I'm not sure exactly what size my card is going to be, so I'm going to cut at least one of these in the gold, because it might just be an element to my card and not so much a background behind the flowers, because by the time I put it together, it might cover up the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is run this through that double-sided gold paper that's from our card kit, and just like this, and tape it down and run it through. And so I will be right back. I have my 8 pieces here. I have this gorgeous, look at this die. Oh my gosh. So if you had the 2 and you put one on this side, look at that, so pretty. So I'm gonna put that to the side for now. And on these guys, very simple. All we're gonna do is on this inner, the longer line, is fold it up towards you and then back on these other lines here. And when you come up with this one, it's gonna cross over this one a little bit, but when you push it back, it'll clear that spot. And as you can see, it makes like a really pretty kind of flower shape with the petals here. Now, if you want to do some inking, you know, I'll wait and see once I put it together. And if I do want to do some inking, I'll probably put it on this edge and then maybe on these edges. So I'm just going to take a minute to do that with all of these guys. Again, fold them up and then back and up towards you and back. Kind of, you can burnish them if you like. Of course, the die makes it very easy because it's already scored for you there. And hopefully you can start seeing these kind of start nestling into each other like this and making that circle. But I will be right back. I have all my pieces here. I'm going to move this to the side just to not have that glare distracting us there. Okay. So once you have all your APs, we are going to glue this down because this was just to train them. But if you're looking at them, you're going to have one here, let's say one here, obviously all around. And then these guys, they can't just be right on top of each other because something has to give. So this one you can set it behind, you can put some in front, however you want to do it, but some will have to go behind the others for it to fit in nicely. Again, like I said, we are going to glue these down so it's not going to, well, I suppose if you wanted it dimensional like this, look at that. I mean, that looks really cool. You can definitely do that. And then glue them into place, popped up like that. But if you want to glue them down, you would glue down these back sections. So I'm going to take a look and see exactly what I want to do, if I want to glue down this back area or how I want to do it behind each piece. Again, do you want to do a little distressing, a little inking or not? That's up to you, of course. I think I'm going to keep it simple and just not distress anything. But I am going to take a minute to glue down the very back in here of each one. And then we'll see what we want to do with the others. But if you wanted something super dimensional, I would say just don't even glue it down. But I'm going to glue them all down just like that. I just glued that inner part, okay? And I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I have my pieces. Again, I glued them down. You don't have to glue them down. You can even fold them in the opposite direction. This is just the way I chose to do mine. But, you know, whatever it is that you want to do. And what I mean by opposite direction is instead of in and then out, you can fold them so that these guys end up in the other direction. It's whatever you like, but let me put this down here. And so like I said, I had to tuck some up and some down for it to work out. We can also just stagger them. There's lots of ways to put this together. What I want to see right now though is about how big is this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about a 5-inch square. So I'm going to get a piece of paper to go behind this and a card base going so that we can stick this to something, and I will be right back. Okay guys, so this is kind of what I was thinking. I have a 5.5-inch card base, and what's interesting about this is that I just left the extra white, the piece of paper that I cut off, because this is 5.5 by 11, right? And then we score it at 5.5, so then it's a 5.5-inch square card base. The extra piece we will use later. Maybe I'll make some of the little flowers. I was thinking about doing the rolled flowers, at least to show you how to use them if I'm not going to put them on my card. And then, you know, I was putting this on here to layer it up. I got a piece of paper from the card kit here, and we have that gold piece. I just got something that's kind of playful, just to be kind of fun, because I know a lot of times with APG, it's more sophisticated and lovely. And I thought I'll just throw in some fun paper just to kind of set that off a little bit, do a little something different. And then we have this cool kind of geometric thing that we're working on here. And then as I was putting it on here, I thought, well, you know, it'd be cute. Maybe if this should be up. So what I'm going to do is actually build this off of my paper. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Obviously, just in a minute, I'll glue that down. And I'll probably glue this down kind of offset to the side. So a little bit of the paper showing, a little bit kind of tucked in, and then that flower will be on top, and it's just an element that'll be in the background. But I grabbed that circle from the kit, from the APG kit here, and I just cut a piece of the white paper, and I'm going to build my little flower on this. And actually, what's cool is that if I put it here and I kind of center it, I can then use the lines on my mat here to help me out. But however you want to do this. And if you want to use a wet glue that gives you some movement, so you have a chance to kind of move things around if you don't like the way they're placed, then you probably want to use something that gives you some time to do that. If you want to cut that base piece from the same color cardstock, that's good too. I just cut it out of that white paper. So like I said, I'm going to have some like this, and then I'm going to have some that are tucked in behind those guys. And I'm going to tuck them in as well as I can. Obviously, this is just a mock-up here. Something like that. And like I was saying, you could layer them one over the other so that, excuse me, so you can layer them like this so that they kind of sit over each other, which also looks very pretty. Maybe I'll end up doing that. Who knows? But see how I'm laying one over the next one? And at the end, you're going to have to just split the difference there. Keep going, keep going. And I'm just talking about these little pieces. Obviously, they're going to have to sit inside of each other. And that looks very pretty, too. So that's probably what I'll do. All right. Well, I'm going to just get to it. You know, I'm trying to think what kind of glue I want to use for this. I'll just get started with one of these guys. It doesn't really matter where on the circle this ends up, so I don't think it's the biggest deal. If anything, you can even put glue right on the circle and start from there. But I'm going to put that there. And like I said, I'm going to layer one over the other, so I'm going to tuck this one under this. So it's butted up here, but the petal on top is kind of tucked under. Like I said, this circle, excuse me, doesn't really matter because it's not going to be showing anyway. So we would do that. This is kind of fun putting that glue on there. Again, petal under, but butted right up next to each other. And so I'm going to put this on basically dimensional adhesive so it pops up. So I think that'll be really fun. Again, that one petal underneath, but butted right up. And I'll just keep doing that till I get my circle done. And you can kind of eyeball it like here. Maybe I want it to be a little closer, so that these guys stay together a little nicer. And I am holding with my other hand. I'm holding it down. But again, this glue dries really quickly, so I don't have to do that for very long. And then keep going. Again, petal under, butted right up. And of course, eyeballing where you're putting it so that you get these right next to each other. It's going to leave a little dot in the center there. What a fun kit. I like stuff that's kind of origami-ish or, you know, something like that. So this is right up there for me. And I'm pretty much almost done. I thought I was going to come back with a cut and come back. But you know what? We're almost there. And I'll hold it down for a little bit longer after I get off here with you guys. But again, petal under and then the other one on top. And you see, that's why I have to make adjustments. So I think I need to make this one come out and adjust these a little bit so that this looks a little nicer. So I'll keep doing that, kind of adjusting them so that they're more squished together, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I was just kind of pushing it in and just making sure that we got as close as we can, and then I just kind of pop these guys up. So that's how I got it to look, you know, more circular and less gaps and things. So that's the back. Very cool. Again, if you're afraid, you know, use a glue that dries slower. So that way you can still manipulate it until you're happy. So what I'm going to do, I think we're just going to go for it. So let me make a really kind of stacked up card. So we have this, we have just some white paper. I'm going to use both of these guys, and I think I'm going to make one large flower and two smaller ones. I usually like doing threes, so that's what we'll do. So I'll cut these out, run them through the machine, and I'll be right back. Our little flowers. Now the instructions do say to reinforce the score line. You can see there's a score line there. And I think when Becca did her video, she just squeezed them afterwards. So however you want to do it. If you want to pull this back now, I would take like a piece of foam or something like that and then just come through with, let me see if I have, what I have on here right now. I have my quilling tool, that's good. On the other side, I'm just going to hold this with my hand, but you can kind of see the score lines back here, and just from the behind, push it through. So that way it starts folding for you on that score line, if that's what you want to do. So I'm going to go around and do that on all of them. Just follow the score line all around so I can turn that back, okay? So I turned it a little bit, but you know, honestly, you probably don't even have to do that. You can probably just smush it at the end like Becca had done in her video. So I'm going to take the very end here. In a quilling tool, you can use tweezers and just roll it up. So mine's trained a little bit because I just went around those edges. And I'll do the same thing for the little guys. Because once you start rolling it, it's going to start kind of doing its own thing anyway. So what I normally do with these is I put some glue at the very end and I kind of let it go so that it unravels a little bit, so that it just is more natural when you glue it down. If you glue it down really tight, it just looks really tight. So from here, I'm just going to hold it down, and then you can go around the edge and smush it a little bit more if you want, just to get that little curl going on the edge. Okay, so I'll hold it down, smushing, and I'll do the same thing with the little guys, and hopefully you can kind of see what that looks like. I'll be right back. Okay, I have my little flowers. I have some leaves cut out of that darker green paper like I had mentioned. And all I did was put some dimensional adhesive on the back of this. I just did these strips because I didn't want to push down on it. Obviously, I don't want to crush my little flower on the top. So I'm just going to pick the backs off of this. I probably should have done it prior to getting on here. And then we're just gonna pop this down, and I'm gonna use some 3D glue gel, but to be honest, a hot glue gun will probably be better for this part, just because it's gonna be very dimensional and we really want those flowers to stay down on there. Let me pick this off. I'll get my 3D glue gel going and I'll be right back. Okay, and this definitely has a geometric feel to it. So, you know, do you want to put it straight up and down, like where that line is? You can also form this in 2 pieces and put it like on a gatefold card. I think that'd be pretty cool if one half was over here and one half was over there. But whatever's that you want to do, of course. I guess I will put it kind of up and down. I'm kind of eyeballing where that center might be. Pretty good. Again, I'm going to try to squish it down as well as I can. And then these guys, I'm just going to put in here. So, of course, this is super dimensional. You know, do whatever you like. Something like that. And then pop these little guys in here and there. That'd be a good place for that one. Maybe something down here. You know, I'll pop these in wherever I think would be cute. Oh, I love the little leaves. Let me see. They do have a direction on them if you see that. And you can keep them flat or you can bend them down the center, give them a little more dimension also, which is always nice. Pop that like in there. Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, let me play with this a little bit and see exactly where I want to place everything. And we will adhere it and have a nice card. So I think that's where I want my little leaves. So on these I'll just put some regular glue and just kind of pop them in there. I'll do that with the others also. And then these guys I'm just going to stick down with some really thick stuff. Let me get this ready. I'm just going to pop those down. Alright guys, thanks for watching. This is just one simple idea of how to use these. There are tons of ideas, lots of ways to configure them and put things together. You know, obviously you're going to add your sentiment. A lot of times I leave the sentiment off just because I'm not sure what I'm going to use my card for yet. But there it is. Really pretty geometric kind of cool thing going on here. So thanks for watching, guys. Thank you so much, Spellbinders, for these items for my review. You know, a lot of times at the beginning of the video I talk about the clubs, which I've done in the previous videos. I was remiss in talking about that today, especially since people had questions about the new shipping on the clubs. It's not pricing or anything like that because, well, at least not right now. It depends on where you're listening to this, I suppose. It's about timing. So before, if you were signed up on the 1st, they would bill you on the 1st and your club kit would go out a couple days later. If you're signed up on the 12th, they'd bill you on the 12th. It would go out a couple days later. And so it was just all over, you know, just depending on when you signed up. So now they're doing it a little more concisely where they're having 2 groups, like the beginning of the month and like middle of the month kind of thing. And I suppose it depends on when you signed up. Obviously the kinks are going to get worked out and then you're going to be on track the next following months. Also, whenever you pick up a Spellbinders kit, like if you sign up today, you love this APG, you want to get it today, you know, you order it. This is the kit you will be getting. It's not something that, okay, you're going to get this next month in May. No, you will get it now as soon as they ship it to you. This is what you will be getting. And they always open up a preview period, usually the last couple days of the month. And you can check that out on their blog. It's usually an unboxing of the card kit of the month. And then there's like sneak peeks of the other kits. A lot of times some of the kits coordinate with each other. I know this month with the large die, which is so cute, the stamp of the month goes back with it. And I used it to make a mini slimline, but of course you can make a slimline. That's why they're nice and long. The glimmer of the month goes back to this too. The small die of the month, which I've signed up for the glimmer and the small die, they're on their way, but I'll show them to you as soon as they come in. The small die is a really sweet set with stitching, which people really liked the last time I did a stitching kit. So it's a thanks, the word thanks, and then like little stitching of flowers that you can do on it. So really cute, or you can just leave it perforated. You don't have to do the stitching, you know, but that's just a little info that I know. If things change, of course, you always want to read their policies on their frequently asked questions page. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye now.